name is Melissa van Dijk and I'm a makeup artist, and in this video I'm going to show you 2 creative eye makeup looks as well as 2 ways on how you can come up with a creative eye makeup look. And I'm going to start off with the first look as they definitely do not look alike, so I want to be very specific. And I'm also going to use for the first look the Essence Bonjour Montreal eyeshadow palette, and I'm also going to start off with step number 1, which is applying the green shadow on the main lid area at first with my finger, and then I'm also going to use a very precise eyeshadow brush, which is the Petite Luxe by Zoeva, where I can have a little bit more of a precision on how I'm going to shape the eyeshadow, because we're not going to blend any edges, we are going to keep it as harsh as possible. And because of the shimmer, it always will look a little bit softer, but it also will help us to get a beautiful shape. So I'm going to start off with my finger pressing it on the lid, and then I'm going to start blending, and later on I'm going to use the brush. Now I clearly just used my fingers and a brush to get this shape, as well as used my eye shape on the main lid area to create this shape. So I basically just followed the crease line, and also where the outer corner stops to lift it just a tiny bit, not to a wing, but just that I have a little bit more of a stronger outer corner, and this already gives us the base of the eyeshadow look. And this is also such a beautiful green shadow that it just makes it a little bit more unusual to wear. Now for the next step, I'm also going to use the same specific brush, and I'm also going to dig into a golden orange shade, which is this one right here, pointing it at the inner corner and then blending it upwards and really soften this inner part right here, not too far up but just right here. And this also will bring a little bit more of the sparkle towards the inner corner and inner upper eyelid area. And now we just blended the inner part a little bit softer so that we can also keep the focus towards the inner corner. And now for the last step, I'm also going to add a bit of a highlighting shade towards the brows to make sure that everything is nice and shimmery. And so for that, I'm also going to use a brush. You also could use your finger if you like to. And the softer the brush, the more diffuse the highlighting shadow will be. The denser the brush, the more pigmented the shadow will be. And so I'm going to dig into the lightest shadow from the palette, which is still a shimmery shade right here on the top, and this is the one that I'm going to blend towards the eyebrow area. Now here you have already the look, and what's really important is that I basically just followed my own eye shape on the main lid area to create this look, which is something that's really unusual. We haven't blended really any edges, and it still is such a simple creative look to recreate with any color. So let's move on to the next creative eye makeup look. Now for the second creative eye makeup look, we are going to dig into some color. But before we're moving on to the eyeshadows, I'm going to stick with the black eyeliner pencil, as this is also a beautiful way on how you can create kind of like a smoky eye, but also intensify it and use the colors on top of your eyelid area that you want. And I'm going to start off with something that's a bit tricky, which is also my step number 1, so that we can come over it. And this is applying the black eyeliner on the waterline. And I'm not talking only about the lower waterline, but as well as on the upper waterline, so that we really can intensify that color, starting off from the very inner rim of the eyes and then moving outward. Now, once the inner rim is black, and if you may have issues to apply the eyeliner pencil on the waterline, one tip that I can give you is that if you're fearing that the pencil will come too close and you're going to do this reaction, then this is just because it's a normal reaction that your eye will give you because something like sharp is going to hit your eye. But to avoid that happening and to avoid that that your eyes are watering, you can also do the trick that you're looking into the opposite direction, which means that if you're towards the inner corner and you're applying the eyeliner, look towards the outer corner, and the opposite as well. Like if you are towards the outer corner, look towards the inner corner, so you won't see the eyeliner pencil and you can apply it without a problem on the waterline. Which also brings me to the next step, which is still using the black eyeliner pencil, but this time we're going to keep it above the lash line, from the upper lash line as well as the lower lash line. I told you we're going to really intensify those inner rims with some black eyeliner pencil. And I'm also going to create a little wing towards the outer corner, where I'm later going to use also an angle brush to give me that little wing happening. But if the pencil is sharp enough, you also could do it with the pencil and later on use the brush to just help you to wing it out a bit more. Now, if something like this is going to happen, which can happen to anyone, then you always can use either a clean brush, which is still very flat so that you have a bit of control to also get an even line again, or what you also can do is wipe it all off and start all over again with the upper lash line, because you haven't added anything on it. So you have two ways: either use the time to correct it or just wipe it off. And so I'm going to stick with the flat eyeshadow brush to correct it, and I have makeup wipe right here. So I'm going to use a bit of the makeup wipes like soap, I would call it, and then use it to help me to clean up this upper part. And now I'm going to repeat the same on the lower lash line with the eyeliner pencil, where I'm just going to do the same underneath the lashes and also connecting it with the outer corner. And once you use the eyeliner pencil all around it, then don't worry about the lower under eye area, because now we are going to set this eyeliner pencil with some black eyeshadow and then clean up underneath. But you also could do the eyes first and then move on to the rest of your base. That's totally up to you. Or you could also use a tissue right underneath if you can, and you're not holding a mirror like this, then you can hold it right underneath and it also won't happen on the lower eye under eye area. So I'm going to use a single eyeshadow as well as using the same brush that I used earlier to help me clean up those upper mistakes. And I'm going to dip into it, as well as this will help me to set the eyeliner pencil so that it will stay put. And now that everything is nice and black, we can dig into some color. And keep in mind that this could be any color. I personally picked for the first shade a dark blue shadow, which I'm going to use from my Kryolan eyeshadow palette. And I'm also going to use a blending brush for it, because with mainly all the colors that I'm going to use now on my main lid area, I'm using blending brushes for it, just because this will give you a beautiful finish. And I'm going to dig into this darker shade right here and focusing it towards the outer part. And so now, once this is on, we can move on to the next color, which I'm also going to apply with a blending brush. And this time I'm going to dig into some purple, which is the second purple in the palette, this one right here. And I'm going to focus it on the mid area of the eyelid area, as well as blending it into the blue. And so now for the last color towards the inner corner of the eyelid area, I'm also going to stick with a blending brush, but this time I'm going to dig into some yellow. And I'm also going to use the second yellow in the palette, which is a little bit more intense and a little bit warmer. Now the colors on the main lid area, this is something that's totally your preference. I personally really like how this turned out, because I intensified the black color towards the inner rim of the eye and then brought it out to the colors. And this is something I haven't seen a lot of those techniques in general, and it just performs so well. I definitely would recommend do your eyes first and then the base, but it also will look a bit better when it comes to the whole image. Like if you have your base done and your eye makeup look, then everything will come together. Now this was also the second creative eye makeup look and the technique that I wanted to share with you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. Thank you so much for your support, as this is an independent channel, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!